Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Today we're talking about a powerful human quality, curiosity. Curiosity is the desire to know, understand, or discover something. It can help us learn English, solve problems, and enjoy everyday life more.
I love this topic because curiosity is not only for scientists or children. It is a skill that adults can practice. Jake, when was the last time you felt really curious about something?
Yesterday, actually. I noticed that my neighbor has a small garden on the roof of his building. I wondered how the plants survived the wind, so I asked him. He told me about special containers and a simple watering system. One question led to a very interesting conversation.
That is a perfect example. Curiosity often begins with a small question. In English, we can say, I wonder why, I'm curious about, or I'd like to find out. For example, I wonder why some people learn languages faster than others.
And there is an important difference between curiosity and simply wanting information. Curiosity has energy behind it. When we are curious, we pay attention because we genuinely want an answer. That attention makes learning easier.
Exactly. Think about a mystery. If someone tells you the ending immediately, the story may not be very exciting. But if you have questions, you want to keep reading or listening. This feeling is sometimes called a knowledge gap. A knowledge gap is the distance between what you know and what you want to know.
Let's make that phrase practical. Imagine you see the sentence, the meeting was postponed. If you already know the word postponed, there is no gap. But if you wonder whether it means cancelled, delayed, or moved to another place, you have a question. That question gives you a reason to learn the word.
Good example. Postponed means moved to a later time or date. It is not the same as cancelled. If a meeting is postponed, it will probably happen later. If it is cancelled, it will not happen as planned, and it may never happen.
That is useful vocabulary for work and daily life. Another helpful word is investigate. To investigate means to look carefully for facts or information. A journalist investigates a story, and a student can investigate the meaning of a new expression.
Now let's connect curiosity to language learning. Many learners wait until they have a perfect study plan. They buy a notebook, download an app, and make a long list of grammar topics. Those tools can help, but curiosity may be more important than a perfect plan.
I agree. Instead of asking, what should I study today, ask, what do I want to understand today? That small change makes studying more personal. Maybe you want to understand a song, a news article, a recipe, or a conversation in a movie.
Here is a practical tip: keep a question notebook. Every time you hear or read something interesting in English, write down one question. Do not write only a word list. Write questions such as, why did the speaker use this tense, or what is the difference between job and career?
Then choose one question and investigate it for 5 or 10 minutes. Search for examples, listen to a short explanation, or ask a teacher. Small investigations are easier to continue than huge study sessions.
The word continue is important here. A learner who studies for 15 minutes every day may make more progress than someone who studies for 3 hours once a month. Curiosity helps create consistency because each session answers one question and creates another.
That is a wonderful cycle. You begin with a question, find an answer, and then notice a new question. For example, you learn that, I have lived here for 5 years, uses the present perfect. Then you wonder, why can't I say, I live here for 5 years? That next question leads you deeper into grammar.
And for anyone listening, the answer is that the present perfect connects the past with the present. I have lived here for 5 years means the situation started in the past and is still true now. We usually use for with a length of time and since with a starting point, for 5 years but since 2021.
Curiosity also improves memory. When information answers a question we care about, our brain treats it as meaningful. Meaningful information is easier to remember than a random list of facts.
That is why vocabulary in context is so powerful. Instead of memorizing remarkable by itself, connect it to something you care about. The small museum had a remarkable collection of photographs. Remarkable means unusual, impressive, or worth noticing.
You can make the connection even stronger by asking a personal question. What is the most remarkable place I have visited? Then answer it in English. Maybe it was a quiet beach, a busy market, or a mountain village. Personal meaning turns vocabulary into a story.
I like that method. Another useful expression is to spark curiosity. A spark is a small flash of fire, so this expression means to create interest. A surprising picture can spark curiosity. A strange headline can spark curiosity. A good question can spark curiosity too.
But curiosity needs direction. The internet gives us unlimited answers, and that can become a problem. You start by looking up one word, then watch a video, read comments, and suddenly an hour has disappeared.
That is very true. We can call this going down a rabbit hole. It means becoming deeply involved in a series of connected topics, often online. Sometimes a rabbit hole is fun, but it can also distract you from your original goal.
So here is a simple 3-step rule. First, write your question. Second, set a time limit, perhaps 10 minutes. Third, write one sentence explaining what you discovered. This keeps curiosity useful instead of allowing it to control your whole day.
Let's give our listeners an example. Suppose you hear the phrase break the ice in a podcast. You ask, what does it mean? You investigate and learn that it means to make people feel more relaxed when they first meet. Then you write, I told a funny story to break the ice at the new club.
And you can ask one more question. What other expressions describe friendly conversation? You may discover, make small talk, get the conversation started, and hit it off. If two people hit it off, they like each other and become friendly quickly.
Those expressions are perfect for today's subject because curiosity can improve relationships. When you are curious about another person, you ask thoughtful questions instead of talking only about yourself. You might ask, what inspired you to choose that career, or what do you enjoy doing on weekends?
The word inspired means given a strong reason or feeling to do something. Notice that what inspired you is more interesting than what do you do. It invites a story, not just a short answer.
However, curiosity should be respectful. There is a difference between being interested and being intrusive. Intrusive means asking questions that are too personal or unwanted. Good curiosity includes listening to the other person's comfort level.
That is an excellent communication tip. If someone gives a short answer, changes the subject, or looks uncomfortable, do not push. You can say, of course, you don't have to answer, or move to a more general topic.
Curiosity is also useful when we make mistakes. Many people feel embarrassed by an error and try to forget it. A better response is to ask, what can this mistake teach me? That question changes embarrassment into investigation.
For English learners, after a conversation, write down one sentence you wanted to say but could not. Look up the words later and practice the sentence aloud. This is called reflective learning. Reflective means involving careful thought about an experience.
For example, perhaps you wanted to say, I have been thinking about changing jobs, but you used the wrong tense. Later, you can study the phrase, understand it, and use it the next time. Your mistake becomes a personal lesson.
Let's talk about curiosity at work as well. In a meeting, instead of pretending to understand everything, ask for clarification. Could you clarify that point? Means, could you explain it more clearly? This is polite and professional.
You can also ask, what would be the next step, or how will we measure success? These questions show that you are engaged. Engaged means actively interested and involved.
And if you are learning a technical subject, ask about the reason behind a process. Knowing why something works often helps you remember how to do it. Curiosity moves learning from memorization to understanding.
Before we finish, let's give a small challenge. Choose one ordinary object near you, a cup, a phone, a key, or a chair. Ask 3 questions about it in English. Who designed it? How is it made? How has it changed over time?
Then answer one question using a dictionary, a short article, or your own imagination. Try to use 3 new words. For a phone, you might use feature, battery, and convenient. A feature is a useful part of a product. Convenient means easy or practical for a particular situation.
Remember, you do not need to understand everything at once. Curiosity is not pressure to know all the answers. It is willingness to explore. Willingness means the readiness or desire to do something.
Let's recap today's key points. Curiosity begins with a question and creates a knowledge gap. Questions help us pay attention, and attention supports memory. For language learning, connect new vocabulary to context, personal experiences, and stories.
Use a question notebook, investigate one small topic at a time, and set a time limit online. Ask thoughtful questions in conversations, but respect people's boundaries. Finally, use mistakes as opportunities to reflect and learn.
Our useful vocabulary today included investigate, remarkable, spark curiosity, go down a rabbit hole, intrusive, reflective, clarify, and engaged. Try using at least one of these words in a sentence today.
And here is our final question for you. What are you curious about right now? Write your answer in English, even if it is only one sentence. That sentence could be the beginning of your next lesson.
Thank you for listening to the English Daily Podcast. We hope this episode helped you learn something useful and made you curious about something new.
If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share it with another English learner, and come back for our next conversation. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep improving your English.